Welcome back, friends, to another Heidi Talk Expedition Africa. Well, as you can see, I've got a dear friend in front of me today. How are you, Madeleen?
Hi, Heidi, fine, and you?
Good, you look beautiful.
Thank you, so do you.
Thank you. I'm all dressed up in your jumpsuit, guys. Have a look at home. You can't see much, but I've got this very sexy jumpsuit made by Madeleen.
Looking good, looking good.
I'm all dressed up, as you can see. I've got nowhere to go, but it's okay. So, friends at home, Madeleen Curnick, well, I call her like the new kid on the block. The reason why I speak with her today is really to inspire all our lady adventure racers or wannabe adventure racers out there, our mommies, our businesswomen, all the women out there that always think that, no, this is too hard, they can't do adventure racing, it's just too hardcore. And this lady here in front of us has shown us that she can, defy all the odds, and with a little bit of lipstick and in the fashion industry, she can also do adventure racing. So Madeleen is actually, she is a designer and a manufacturer of corporate wear, corporate and business wear. She also has got her own range, and this is where the jumpsuits and dresses for corporate uniform and corporate wear, beautiful pieces are together, and it's under the I Want range. She's going to tell us more about it a little bit later. And even now lately in lockdown, she's starting designing the most beautiful face mask. Hello guys, how are you?
It looks good. It looks so good.
Flower design. So guys, this wonderful businesswoman in front of us is an adventure racer. Believe it or not. So, Madeleen, Madeleen,
at least now we can wear makeup and everything now, hey? But if we're racing, there's none of that.
None of that. But at least you could do both.
Exactly.
Please tell us, where did you get to here, or how did you get into adventure racing?
Okay, so my first race was one of your 25-kilometer races that I did with my brother Wynand. The one day he just said, come on, just do a little race with me, it's nothing. He said it's 70k mountain bike, and then I thought 70k, that sounds quite far then. And I did that, and then one day, it was actually on Mother's Day, I think 2017, he just challenged me and said, listen, you guys also offer 120k, 24-hour race. I must join him. So I said, okay, let's do it. And yeah, it literally started with a picnic one Sunday. So and then with the first race was your Paris race in Free State, I think it is. And it was actually an easy race. It was a very flat race, but unbelievable experience. And after that, I was hooked, and never looked back.
Never looked back. Well, after that, you had several more, and you always, it's so interesting for me, you guys are always within the timing of, I know we normally start our races around 10, 11, 12 in the morning, and then you always seem to be the guys who's finishing in the middle of the early morning hours. So your aim is around between 16 and 20 hours of racing.
Yes. So we never race to win, obviously. We are all average athletes. We train just enough so that we can enjoy the race. And and I think that's enough. I mean, we've done, I think our second race was Swaziland, and we raced 24 hours. We finished, at 22 hours. I think we finished at 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock. And we were buggered, and you don't sleep, but it's such a nice experience. And I think you get to experience a bit more of the race and the environment if you don't race too fast. So so we actually just take it easy. We take it in. I always have my phone with me. I take lots of pictures. I love taking pictures. I've got so many memories. And so we're always in the middle. I would say in the middle around there.
It's wonderful. So that is what it's all about. You know, not everybody wants to do adventure racing to be in the front or to win. And it's so important because for me, you guys, you know, that big middle of the pack group of guys, and I know you're all competing with each other in your own competitive way. But you guys are for us sort of the body of the racing, and ultimately for me the reason why I do it, because it is somebody which will never, you know, basically never you will out of normal circumstances do something like this, and then I see you at the races and you're always smiling, and like you say, you're taking photos, you basically embrace the experience. I mean, I can't remember ever seeing you at a race where you're not smiling, and it's just like you can feel it, you know, and your whole team is happy. There's no fighting and bickering. Everything's okay.
No, we've only had good teams, and every time we drag in a new member, and it's just fun to show somebody else what it's all about, and then just racing, and then getting to the finishing line with Heidi there smiling, jumping up and down, and I know you also haven't slept, and with a bottle of champagne, even if we almost lost, it's there. So it's just all about, I think even you and Stephen, your races are so much fun because it's just, it's not about winning or getting a medal even at the end of the race. It's just, it's just that feeling of doing it with a team basically. No, it's really, we love it.
Tell me, Madeleen, have there been races where you got seriously lost?
Yeah. Yes.
Who's the navigator?
So Wynand, my brother, he's the nav, but he's really, really good. I mean, I would not race if he doesn't race with me, because I genuinely trust his ability to nav. But we've had a couple of, we got lost a couple of times, especially at Swaziland. It was one of those where we ran out of food, we ran out of water. We planned to do that last cycling leg, I think like 2 hours, and it took us 5 hours. But those are the things that you remember. And you just never get cross somehow. You just accept that you just got lost and you have to go all the way back and start from scratch. But it's part of it. So, but I think the navigator is the important part. So even the ladies that want to try to start adventure racing, start with the navigation, start with getting a good navigator, because that could also, if you get lost, you actually get down on yourself. You get down because that actually tires you out quite a bit.
And but mentally, I think mentally, like you say, it's also a mental down, because normally the navigator feel so terrible normally when they make a mistake, and they have to pick their confidence up again, and it actually makes the team negative, but you don't want to show it. I don't know how you are, but I never wanted to show that.
Absolutely.
No, I need to go up this mountain again, and you try to be positive, and it's better to, if you get into adventure racing, if you can maybe join with somebody who has done it before or has got a little bit of navigation experience.
Absolutely, yes, no, definitely.
So, Madeleen, can you believe that this journey of 25K races and a few 120 races gave you enough confidence to say, yes, we want to do Expedition Africa Rodrigues?
Yes. Cannot believe it. I know. I remember you asked me a couple of times with the 120 kilometer races if I would ever do an expedition. I said no ways. I said this is my limit. There's no ways. But then when Rodrigues came up, it just looked amazing. It was a bit of a shorter distance. It was a bit of a different setup, and we just thought, let's give it a shot. Yeah, and it was amazing though. It was such an amazing race. It was really cannot really explain to anyone. I mean, what you go through and what it was like. But it was a race that I would never forget.
Oh, that is so wonderful. It was such a big build up to the race. How was that feeling when you got in the small airplane, actually flying to the small island and you see it with your eyes?
No, it's amazing. Just like that butterfly, nervous feeling. And it was just I was so excited.
Oh,
So it's a big thing. And I mean, it was a big thing for me as well. I've got 2 kids as well, and got a business that I have to run, and to think, okay, now I have to leave it for 10 days, leave my kids the longest I've ever been away from home, and go do something for myself. It was, yeah, it wasn't easy, but it was all worth it. At the end of the day, it was something that I did for myself,
yeah,
which we don't often do, I don't think.
yeah.
And yeah, I just think it was worth the time away.
And also, obviously, we need to thank your husband in this regard for
Yeah,
supporting you and, you know, just encouraging you also to be and to do something, like you say, for yourself.
yeah,
I am really always at our races, and you know that. I always really thank the wives supporting their husbands, the husbands supporting their wives. We
yeah,
really try with the races to have venues where the family can join and bring the children, especially on that
yeah,
120K races, which is over the weekends, because the power of support, you know, it's
yeah,
immense, and we can't do anything without the support of our spouses or family or friends. And it doesn't
mm,
matter if it's more men racing, so normally there are more women supporters, or if it's now you racing. And I know your husband's also now doing mountain biking with you, but I mean, he is supporting you that you could go and do that. So please tell your husband to listen to this, and I say thank you.
yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
and I know,
Yeah.
I think you said you're going to pull him into a future race. Is that correct?
Exactly. I've been working on him for the last 2 years, and he just can't understand why would somebody go through all that suffering and not sleep and all of that. But I want to show him why, because I said to him, just come with me once and you'll know why.
To go back to Rodrigues, you know, obviously, there's obviously a lot of stuff that went on and happened, and it was a big race with a lot of transitions and crossovers and activities. Why did you find? I think there was a video clip where I think you came also out of the water. What was for you the most difficult part there? I think it was your birthday. On the first
Yeah,
day, on the starting day. I mean, how wonderful is that?
yeah. No, it was amazing. So yeah, so it was on my birthday, and I think the video clip you're referring to is just after the swim. Yeah, no, it was amazing to think it was going to be this oh, well, I had it in my head, this romantic sailing, and then you have to jump out and snorkel back to the shore where the race is going to start. But it was everything but that. I must be honest, it was such a hard swim. Um, I think it was quite a rough day. The sea was rough, and the sailing it was chaotic, and then we had to jump in the middle of the ocean and then
And so,
snorkel or
tell
swim.
me, how was your sailor? Could you understand your sailor?
No, not at all. No, not at all. So yeah, obviously, like this French Creole, obviously speaking, cannot speak English, cannot understand, trying to explain to us what to do. None of us have ever sailed before. So he would just shout something like, what was it? Hurry, hurry, hurry. And we just didn't know what he meant. And we were just ducking and diving, and eventually, finally got to where we were going. And yeah, but we made it. A lot of boats didn't make it, but we at least made it. And then we had to jump in the ocean, start snorkeling and swimming. Yeah, and I'm not a strong swimmer at all. And it just felt like forever. I just could not. I was nervous, and I'm not normally nervous in water. And my teammates they were by my side. I just said, don't leave me for a second. And eventually we made it. And that's when they took the video. I think, yeah, who was it took the video? But it was just so funny. I was so happy to know that I didn't die on my birthday.
I
So yeah.
remember that. I remember. It's my birthday. I thought I'm gonna die today. It was like, so yeah.
And
But
I'm still alive.
after that, was there anything bad, or I mean, after that extreme situation for you in the beginning? I think you told me, Heidi. After that, it's sort of like
Hmm.
nothing could get worse.
Literally, I promise you, there was nothing. I can't think of anything that I thought I couldn't do, or it was too hectic, or I just, after that, everything was actually just amazing. And I mean, there was a lot of stuff that we did in that race. I mean, the abseiling and the Vera Ferrata, but I just found that very exciting. And for me, I felt the water. There's no one that can help me there. I didn't have a lifeline. I felt that I was helpless there. But in anything else, I thought I can do this. It's just, it was just after that, everything was great.
Oh, and so I can't tell you how happy it makes to see teams like you guys. You are new in adventure racing. You've dived into the deep end and say, well, we're going to try to do Rodrigue. And you got a feeling of racing for, how many days did you race? 6 days? You came in on the Friday?
I think that's fine. So we finished on the Friday.
Yeah, so we
what's that?
On the Sunday.
Oh, yeah, 5.5. Yeah, 5.5 days.
So you were 5 nights out.
Cannot believe it.
Can't believe it. You slept 5 nights somewhere on an island or under a tree. Can you believe it?
Exactly. No, it's unbelievable. I think the first night we timed it wrong in a way, and we planned to get to we had a little pop-up tent. We planned to get to the tent, and just nothing worked out. And we ended up at our bikes, and there was nothing there, literally nothing. And we just fell asleep on the ground. There was a photo there. I don't know who took it, but there's a photo of us sleeping there on the grass next to our bikes. And as the sun came up, and it was the best 1 hour sleep. It's just crazy to think. But I can't remember where all the days went, because you're saying now 5 nights, but I can't remember really where we slept. And it starts, the first day is long, but then it just carries on and on and on. It just happens. It just, then it's the next day, and you're hiking, and then the sun comes up again, and you're seeing the sleep monsters and all of that. Oh, but it's just incredible actually how you can do it for 5 days. It doesn't feel like 5. And even the funny part is, when I saw it was basically the end, and we had to do that SUP, I almost wanted to do more. It was almost sad to think it's coming to an end. All of what we've trained for and planned for is coming to an end. So it was a great experience. It doesn't feel so long when you're in it.
When you're in it. So I think what anybody who's listening today can learn from what you've just said is, you think it's so big and it's so far, but if you just, it's just the first day. If you can get mostly over the first day, you go into a rhythm, and it's just like surviving. And then you start making food, and you're sleeping, and you're walking. You actually don't know how it happens, but it feels long, and then suddenly it feels like so short and all a blur.
No, definitely.
Definitely. It's doable. What I'm trying to say is, it's completely doable. Please tell us. I know you, mommy, you're businesswoman. You are having a lot of ambitions and dreams and all these things together. How many hours would you say, building up to a big event like a Rodrigue, how much training are you doing? Just to give us an idea of what is your training program.
So I don't plan that well for these races. So in terms of, you get people that really they plan a year in advance and train. I'm not like that. I just wing it. So, but I started with about 4 to 6 hours a week, which I know doesn't sound a lot to great athletes. And then I worked up to about 8 hours more or less a week. So I would just do a bit of a run in the week, or a spinning class, or a bit of strength classes, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And then I try to always do a bit of a long session over the weekend. So either I go cycle with my husband, or we go for a hike. But I try to do a 2 to 3 hour hike or cycle over the weekend. And then obviously you build up gradually. You do a bit of races. I think racing is also a big part of training for me, because it basically forces me to do something. And that's about it. I think it's all about gradually getting into it. It's not something, I think it's muscle memory, it's getting your ankles strong for the hikes, that sort of thing. But I think it's a gradual build-up. I think it's something that you have to gradually build up. And I don't think you have to be a super athlete. I never run 10Ks or 20Ks. I might run 4Ks or 5Ks, but I make sure that I train specific to the race. Yeah. So
do you do gym training as well? Is there
I do, especially for Rodrigue. I know that, I think Stefan mentioned at some stage it's important that we do some strength training, and I'm very glad that I did that. It just strengthens your legs for the climbs. A lot of pull-ups where you have to pull yourself up onto a rock or something. So I think if you're strong, it helps a lot. So I did just the normal Virgin Active training classes with a bit of weights, squats, your normal strength exercises. I think really helps a lot. And then I think also spending time on the bike is important, because you spend hours cycling, and it's not necessarily hard cycling, but it's just that time on the bike, I think, is very important.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, you also mentioned to me, like what you did in this last 4 years or so when you started doing all these adventure sports. You also did the very well-known Sani to See. For the guys, the international guys just listening now, this is one of our top stage races in South Africa. It's going on for years, and it's actually organized also by a former adventure racer. But it's 3 days, and it's one of the most beautiful races. So I think you've done that twice already, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
That is
That I also love. It's just it's amazing experience. I did the first one with my brother, and then the second one with my husband, and it's an amazing race. You see a lot of parts of the country that you wouldn't normally see. So you cycle from I don't know exactly the area, but you go up to Underberg, yes, up to the coast. So that's just another thing. Yeah, it's lovely.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, like you say, it's a little bit of everything, around 6 to 8 or 10 hours a week, and then you're ready to go. You can, and you guys also find you are doing very well in the 25K races. I can't wait to see you at the next 120 and with your husband.
No, I can't back out now. It's official.
It's official. Oh, I'm going to put this out on social media, and it's official. The family and everybody must know that he's going to be there.
I organized my mom already for babysitting that weekend, so all organized.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, but thank you for chatting with me. Thank you for sharing with me that it is doable. Thanks for falling in love with adventure racing. Like us, I do hope that in the near future we would be able to organize a similar race in Mauritius. And
that'd be amazing.
I'm sure then you're going to do that one again.
Yeah, definitely. You can put my name down.
Yeah, the island race.
I'll start saving now.
Yeah, start saving now for that one. It's coming. But please look after yourself. But before I say bye-bye, just tell our friends again, where can they find your t-shirts, your clothes, your Facebook page name again, and I will also put it into the intro. But just tell us a little bit more again about the business.
Okay, so it's basically just a small little designer's brand that I've started. So I've been in the clothing industry forever, maybe 10 years, 15 years, I don't even know. And then I just decided 2 years ago I want to do a bit of a more fashion thing, more creative, because I've been in corporate uniform for some time, and I just decided to do something fun. And I called it I Want by Trendity, because a lot of my friends would say, oh, I want that scarf, or oh, I want that shirt. And then I thought, okay, I'll call it I Want. And that's how it started. So I make small amounts per design, and if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I don't make more. So I'll make 10 or 20, and the ladies know when I post it online, they'll order it straight away, and it vanishes in a week. So the website is www.iwantbytrendity. So it's TRENDITY.co.za, and that's it. And then you can just follow me on Instagram at I Want by Trendity, or the Facebook page is also at I Want by Trendity. That's it.
Oh, wonderful. So ladies out there, you've got no excuse to look fabulous. I want another jumpsuit. And
beautiful. Love it.
And we will follow you on Facebook. We'll support you. Thank you so much for racing, sharing with us your wonderful experiences, and keep on training and stay fit. And really, from the bottom of my heart, you guys are the inspiration for us to keep on doing what we do. We need lots more of normal people out there, not top athletes, just people who want to enjoy and appreciate nature and beauty, and to go and travel and see these new experiences. And that is what it's ultimately all about.
Oh, thanks, Heidi. And yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for your love for the sport, because I mean that is really what's kept me going. I mean, you and Stefan, I know it's not a business. It's not a business. It's your love. It's your life, and we can feel that. And I think that's also something that's kept me racing. Just to know that you're organizing it and you put so much love into your races, and every time we'll find something different and something new. So yeah, it's worth doing it, and it's worth entering, ladies.
Oh, okay. Thank you, girls. Lots of love, and I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.